These are times
The notorious Conor McGregor
went into complete beast mode. Conor McGregor might have faced some setbacks in recent years, but when he was in his prime, he was an absolute predator who tore apart the world's elite, and the next 6 examples prove exactly that. Let's start with the time Conor matched up with UFC legend Dustin Poirier for the first time back in 2014 and made Poirier into complete light work. Conor McGregor burst into the UFC in 2013, riding high on the momentum of his 2 Cage Warriors titles, and he didn't miss a beat. The Irishman tore through his first 3 opponents with ease, gaining 2 brutal KOs and a unanimous decision victory. After wiping the floor with 3 credible opponents, he got booked against a tough competitor in the form of Dustin Poirier at UFC 178. Heading into their fight, Conor was gaining a lot of confidence behind his momentum, and he talked a ton of trash.
He's a quiet little hillbilly from the back arse of nowhere. You know, I've nothing against the guy, you know what I mean? I'm sure he grew up in a circus or a fair, or, you know, he's a nice little kid. So, Cletus, or, you know, his cousin's probably named Cletus or something. I don't know, he's a nice kid. But his chin is gonna be cracked, and it's gonna be cracked early.
Since Poirier had never faced a disrespectful opponent like McGregor before, he lost his cool.
I've never disliked somebody that much ever fought.
Poirier's emotions got the better of him on fight night as McGregor outstruck the Diamond with his sniper-like precision and knocked him out in the first round. As cocky as he was pre-fight, McGregor showed a ton of humility after it was all said and done.
And I have nothing but respect for these competitors. Make no mistake, I am cocky in prediction. I am confident in preparation, but I am always humble in victory or defeat.
Another win later, McGregor earned his shot at long-reigning champion Jose Aldo at UFC 183, but after the Brazilian pulled out due to a rib fracture, the UFC locked in an interim title fight between the Dublin native and Chad Mendes, and this would be the moment McGregor would become a true UFC superstar. Heading into the fight, many thought McGregor neither had the ground game or the gas tank to deal with a high-tier fighter like Mendes, but he was once again about to make his critics cry. Heading into the fight, both fighters were confident that they would be walking out victorious.
So if you are number 1, who gives a shit if number 2 steps out in place of number 3? At the end of the day, I'm number 1. So it makes no difference who is standing across the octagon. I will win.
I mean, in my opinion, Conor is a very one-dimensional fighter. He's a long southpaw stand-up fighter. He doesn't have wrestling, he doesn't have jiu-jitsu. You know, you wipe all that hype out of here, I'm gonna get in there and destroy this dude.
However, the Irishman had his final prediction locked in.
He has a few scrambles in him and then he will break. Then I'm going to pick him apart.
Mendes was thoroughly outgunned on the mic, but he still managed to fire some shots thanks to the backing of Brazilian MMA fans who wanted the American to take out McGregor for disrespecting Aldo.
I knew that there was going to be a ton of Brazilian fans here. These guys want to see me destroy this dude, and I'm going to do it.
When the cage door closed, Mendes gave Conor's critics a real joy when he took the Irishman down multiple times and won control time, but McGregor would still get up and land his punches. By the second round, the damage that McGregor was landing on Mendes started to pile up and eventually became too much, ending in a TKO win for McGregor with just 5 seconds left on the clock.
10 seconds! Oh, he's hurt! Could he finish him here? Conor McGregor is a UFC interim featherweight champion!
Despite winning the interim belt, McGregor felt like he was the real champ.
I am happy to have taken the gold. It would not matter if it was Jose or it was Chad. This was my belt, this was my night. Chad mauled Jose in their fight. I feel it was a back and forth, evenly fought fight, but I was never in any danger in that contest tonight, and I felt extremely confident. I spoke to him throughout every single exchange that it was nothing. You're against a different animal now.
With the interim title now in his grasp, McGregor earned a title unification bout with Jose Aldo, a dominant champion who hadn't lost in a decade and who was expected to run through the Irishman. But what happened next was about to be the biggest mental beatdown in UFC history. Heading into the fight, McGregor put on a show for the fans with his trash talking and antics.
It's a technical question actually. How you plan to neutralize the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
By KOing him stiff.
There is a reason why the belt is on that side of the table.
There's only one reason that belt is on that side of the table, is because he hasn't faced me yet.
With every media appearance, McGregor's trash talking grew darker and more personal.
But you said you smell fear in him.
Yes, it is a beautiful aroma that arouses me.
Care about
I'm your
what he's
father,
saying.
I'm your daddy, yeah?
When
Call me Jose Senior. Tell him I'm his daddy. Tell him I'm his daddy.
If this was a different time, I would invade his favela on horseback and kill anyone that was not fit to walk. But we are in a new time, so I'll whoop his ass in July.
After an endless mental beatdown, McGregor had burrowed so deep inside Aldo's mind that the champion had clearly hit his breaking point.
Welcome to Era. Era, this is my house country. Next time I see you, you're dead. Next time you see me, you're dead. Next time you see me, you're dead. Next time you see me, you're dead. Era! Era! Welcome to Era!
Mas à frente, vão arrancar a cabeça dele fora, meu. Deixa ele ver. Ele pode falar quando tá longe. Lá dentro não vai falar nada.
Much like the pre-fight madness, what went down inside the octagon also became nothing short of legendary, as just 13 seconds in, the Notorious One unleashed a perfectly timed counter left hook that sent the long-reigning featherweight king crashing to the canvas and out cold.
Conor relaxed and smiling. Oh! He slapped him! Conor McGregor is the new UFC featherweight champion of the world!
McGregor couldn't be happier.
Tonight was a phenomenal night. $10.1 million gate. The highest pay-per-view of the year. We've done it again. It's been a great year for myself, my team, my family, the promotion.
A few days after the biggest win of his career, McGregor's mystique hit a fever pitch when his team released a pre-fight video of him backstage practicing the exact sequence that landed the knockout blow on Aldo. At that point in time, Conor McGregor was the biggest and baddest MMA star who felt like he was levels ahead of everyone else, but unfortunately for the Notorious One, his overconfidence would soon lead to a humbling defeat, one so harsh that he would ensure to not make the same mistake twice. After obliterating Aldo in a mere 13 seconds, McGregor set his sights on becoming a two-division champ, lining up a showdown with Rafael dos Anjos for the lightweight strap. But when the Brazilian bowed out with a broken foot, Nate Diaz stormed into the scene to face McGregor in a welterweight contest at UFC 196. McGregor wasted no time aiming his psychological warfare at Diaz, mocking his fight purses and attempting to recreate the same mental breakdown he'd done to Aldo in the fight before.
Nate's last fight, 20,000 to show, 20,000 to win. Not even a win bonus. His full check wasn't even a performance of the night bonus. Now he's at the pop in his cherry and he's going to make his first million. Don't talk about money, you're broke.
They want you to give us a quick count to 10, both of you gentlemen, if you don't mind, just if you wouldn't mind counting to 10.
Nate can only count to 5. I like Nick's little bro. I do. I honestly like Nick's little bro. You know what I mean? How can you not like him? He's like a little cholo gangster from the hood. But at the same time, he coaches kids jiu-jitsu on a Sunday morning and goes on bike rides with the elderly. He makes gun signs with the right hand and animal balloons with the left hand. So you're a credit to the community. You. I don't give a what you say, motherfucker.
On fight night, McGregor came out firing on all cylinders as he knocked Diaz down twice with his sniper-like left hand, but Diaz was able to withstand the impact thanks to his granite chin. In round 2, McGregor continued to push forward until his gas tank ran out of fuel and Diaz took over. In a desperate attempt to survive, McGregor shot for a takedown, but Diaz easily pulled off a reversal and choked him out to give McGregor his first loss of his UFC career. McGregor was heartbroken, but he promised to mount a comeback for the ages.
I've been on the end of many defeats in my life, and I've rose back, so I will not shy away from it. I will not make excuses for it. I will assess it and come back.
In their immediate rematch, McGregor was about to shock the MMA world by not only entering beast mode, but also cleaning doubts that he was just a one-round wonder. Despite getting choked out in their first fight, McGregor was confident as always heading into the rematch at UFC 202, though he did lose some of his fiery touch.
I'm going to go in and do what I always do. I'm going to go out, press forward, have that man backed up, similar to the way I had him backed up in the last fight, and I'm going to tee off on him. This time, I'm going to be a lot more prepared for the size and the weight, and for the distance also. One thing I underestimated was his durability and his experience. I will not make that same mistake again. I look forward to August 20th, where I will come in correct, prepared, sharp, and I will take this man out.
Inside the cage, the two went to war, with McGregor dominating the early proceedings with his punching power that earned him 3 knockdowns. But Diaz mounted a comeback in the later rounds, pushing a tired McGregor to the edge. Despite going past 3 rounds for the first time in his career, McGregor held through and fought fire with fire. After 5 rounds of war, the Irishman was declared the winner by a majority decision, proving his doubters wrong once again.
This was a hell of a important fight for me. Everyone, from the media to the fighters, wrote me off this one.
McGregor even gave Diaz his flowers.
I feel I have more skills, but boy is he one tough motherfucker. He keeps on walking forward. He took every shot. I dropped him multiple times. He just keeps coming. His face was bust open, and he's still coming forward.
Diaz wasn't as nice, since he complained that he was robbed.
I didn't think for a second that I lost at the end of the fight. I thought I won the fight.
Diaz wanted his trilogy, but having settled the score, McGregor started looking ahead at the UFC lightweight title, which was held by Eddie Alvarez at the time. Given his wars against Diaz, many thought McGregor would struggle against bigger lightweights like Alvarez, but the narrative was about to change with the courtesy of one of the greatest performances of all time at UFC 205. The pre-fight build-up for the lightweight title fight was as heated as it could get, with McGregor's usual cocky self returning after a brief break against Diaz.
Sorry I'm late, I just don't give off! I feel Eddie, I've nothing against him.
Be careful.
I've nothing against Edward. Or what? Or what?
Careful.
What you gonna do? Or what? You gonna do something over there?
Be careful.
Shut your f***ing mouth.
McGregor even gave his Mystic Mac prediction.
Mystic Mac, what's your prediction for UFC 205?
Like I said, he's chinny. He has a chin. He gets cracked, he gets dropped. It's happened throughout his career. He's a weathered fighter. He's on his way out. He's very, very lucky to be in the position he's in. 1 round it will take me to knock him out.
Alvarez wasn't one to hold back either, as he alleged the Irishman of cheating on his wife.
Eddie, what were your genuine thoughts on the Diaz fight, Diaz-McGregor?
This guy got 8 minutes of fighting him, that's it. He quits after 8 minutes, every fight. He's not a championship fighter, he's never been, and he's never, ever fought anyone in the UFC like me, ever. Conor's having 2 kids, and his girlfriend is not having twins, so you guys do the math.
Alvarez went on to claim how McGregor was the easiest payday of his life.
Because this guy's easy. It's easy money. Easy money.
Inside the cage, Alvarez couldn't touch McGregor, who proved too much with his speed, angles, and with the accuracy of his punches. McGregor dominated the champion and put him out of his misery in the 2nd round to win the lightweight championship.
History has been made. Conor McGregor is the UFC lightweight champion.
Alvarez later claimed that he didn't follow his game plan, which was to wrestle.
I just boxed too much. Just boxed too much tonight. Too much boxing.
As far as McGregor is concerned, he just knew that it was destiny.
It feels familiar. I saw it so clearly. I swear to God, I saw it so clearly, so consistently, until it's here in reality. So I've been saying this a long time.
For the next 2 years, McGregor disappeared from the MMA scene and transitioned to boxing, earning a $100 million payday against Floyd Mayweather. That's changed his life forever, but he was forced to make his comeback to teach blood rival Khabib Nurmagomedov a lesson in 2018.
I know he is afraid of a smack, and if you're afraid of a smack off me, a smack will feel like a double-barrel shotgun.
But that ended miserably when he lost by a submission. With another 2 years of inactivity following the crushing loss, the MMA world thought that the McGregor of old was gone forever, but he was about to prove his doubters wrong once again. After losing to Khabib at UFC 229, McGregor returned to the cage against Donald Cerrone at UFC 246, where he entered as an older and wiser version of himself, showing a ton of respect to the legend.
He has my respect, and although there will be blood spilled on January 18th, it will not be bad blood. And for the Mystic Mac prediction, it will be a KO. That's one hell of a coat, Donald. My God. I got to give credit where credit is due. You know what I mean? I don't know whether you've outdone me. I've got lions on the inside of my baby here. You know what I mean? But that's a damn good coat, brother.
Cerrone couldn't be happier about facing nice guy McGregor.
We're just professionals. Why can't Conor sit here and hold himself like he's doing right? This is fucking amazing. You kidding me? I mean, you guys aren't getting the clickbait and all the shit you all want, but as a man, my hat's off to the son bitch for sitting here.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Inside the cage, however, McGregor was brutal as he first blasted Cerrone with shoulder shrugs and then kicked him into an oblivion, followed by ground and pound to win by TKO in just 40 seconds. After the fight, McGregor clapped back at everyone who doubted him.
He was saying, I'm just a fighter with a left hand, which is highly disrespectful and uneducated, and I'd be surprised that so many of the supposedly knowledgeable people to be just claiming it as that.
Unfortunately for McGregor, that would be his latest win in the UFC, as he's failed to unleash the beast since then, losing to Dustin Poirier twice. But McGregor has always come back stronger after his losses, so what do you guys think? Will Conor be making a return, and if he does, will he come back stronger than ever? Let us know your thoughts. Now, if you want to see times Conor McGregor got too cocky and was badly humbled for it, check out this video here.